It was 4 a.m. when a neighbor's Ring camera captured a shadow moving across a parking lot in Lancaster, California. A man, dragging something heavy, wrapped tightly in fabric. For a moment, the footage made no sense. The slow, strained movement, the weight of the object, the eerie silence of the night. Minutes later, he lifted the bundle, shoved it into the trunk of his car, shut the lid, and drove off into the darkness. That object was 33-year-old Sheylla Lisbeth Cabrera, a mother of 3, a woman who fought for years to escape an abusive marriage, a woman who vanished without a trace until the camera revealed everything. Tonight, we uncover the chilling murder of Sheylla Cabrera and the international manhunt that followed. The neighborhood was quiet in the early hours of August 10, 2025. Inside the Cabrera apartment, 3 young boys were asleep. Their mother, Sheylla, had spent the evening preparing for a life-changing decision, leaving her abusive husband for good. She had told her family in Peru, "I'm going to report him." It was a decision that saved countless victims, but cost Sheylla her life. Investigators believe an argument turned violent. A knife was used, and by the time the sun began to rise, Sheylla was dead. Sometime between 3 and 4 a.m., Sheylla Cabrera wrapped Sheyella's body in fabric and dragged it across the pavement. The Ring camera caught everything: a man struggling, a heavy bundle, the unmistakable outline of a human body. He lifted it, forced it into the trunk, and drove toward the Angeles National Forest, a vast, isolated wilderness of cliffs and canyons. Under the cover of darkness, he found a remote embankment, dragged the bundle to the edge, and pushed Sheyella's body over. She tumbled into the darkness below, the mother of his children discarded like trash. By the morning of August 12th, Sheyella's friends were desperate. No calls, no messages, no online activity, nothing. Sheylla never disappeared without telling someone, especially when it came to her kids. They went straight to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Deputies arrived at the apartment. Sheylla answered the door with a calm, polite demeanor. Then came lie after lie. Lie 1, Sheylla was detained by immigration. Lie 2, she ran off with another man. Lie 3, she was in an accident. Each story contradicted the last. Detectives quickly realized they were not talking to a concerned husband, but to a man hiding a crime. Friends came forward with heartbreaking details: years of domestic abuse, threats to take the children, her plans to leave, her fear of him, and her growing desperation to escape. The facade of a loving family man collapsed instantly. This wasn't a missing person case. This was a murder in disguise. On August 13th, the investigation shifted dramatically. A neighbor handed detectives Ring camera footage from the early morning of August 10th. The video showed Sheylla dragging the large, wrapped object, the same shape seen in the initial footage. It was irrefutable. Detectives escalated the case to homicide. Search and rescue teams from Crescenta Valley, Altadena, and Montrose were deployed into the forest, searching 700,000 acres of rugged terrain. Finding a body there was almost impossible, but they tried anyway. On August 16th, just after 10 a.m., a transmission came over the radio. Searchers had found a bundle of fabric down a steep embankment. A bundle that looked eerily familiar. Detectives climbed down the rocks. Inside the fabric was the body of 33-year-old Sheylla Lisbeth Cabrera. She was pronounced dead at the scene. The community's worst fears had been confirmed. Vigils formed instantly. Candles lit the night. People whispered her name with shaking voices: "Justice for Sheylla." Meanwhile, Sheylla had fled with their 3 children. He crossed into Mexico by land, then into Peru. He was even detained twice, but because U.S. charges hadn't been filed yet, both countries were forced to let him go. Public outrage erupted. Sheyella's story spread across the U.S. and Peru. Peruvian authorities finally placed the children into protective custody and returned them to Los Angeles. They were reunited with their grandmother. A heartbreaking moment filled with grief and relief. On August 21st, Los Angeles prosecutors officially charged Sheylla with murder, including a special allegation involving a knife. Interpol issued a red notice. The case became an international priority. For nearly 2 weeks, Peruvian authorities and U.S. investigators tracked his movements. Finally, on August 27, 2025, Sheylla Cabrera walked into Interpol headquarters in Lima and surrendered. Footage showed him standing handcuffed, staring at the ground as officers escorted him away. He now awaits extradition to California. If convicted, he faces 26 years to life in prison. Sheylla Lisbeth Cabrera left Peru searching for safety, for peace, for a better life for her 3 sons. Instead, she became the victim of the man who promised to love her. But her story won't disappear into the wilderness where he tried to hide her. Her community won't allow it. Her family won't allow it. And justice is finally moving forward. Thanks for watching Criminology Insights. Subscribe for more true crime investigations.